Larry Wills. Oh my God. Larry Wills goes out there and mollywhops Vitaly. Wow, man. You know, there was a lot of talk and controversy and speculation over whether or not Larry had the tenacity, the drive, the desire to really go out there and hurt somebody. Because we all saw it. We've all seen the training footage. Man, if you just go off of that footage, yeah, it looks pretty bad, very bad. I mean, let's be honest. Every training session, Larry was getting beat up. He was getting thrashed, bro. He was getting mollywopped, bro. He was getting just worked over, man. So yeah, there was a lot of speculation. Like, man, does Larry have the heart? Does he have the tenacity? Does he have the will to go out there and really hurt somebody? But man, oh man, all of those questions were answered. Went out there, guns a-blazing, shocked everybody. Everybody had written Larry off, man. They just had, just wrote him off. They say, oh, man. But it's interesting. After the fight, Larry, he was like, because that was brought up, all of the controversy really surrounding the fact that he didn't look too good in training, sparring. He was constantly getting beat up and worked over, and everybody was clip farming him. And even whilst people were really turning it up on him and going hard, he would never even turn it up back. He would just kind of, that's what I like about Larry, to be honest with you. He's very self-controlled, composed, and things like that. But it was brought up after the fight. It's like, man, during all those training sessions, he had people worried, man. And Larry said, listen, yeah, because I'm sandbagging. Man. I don't want to hurt nobody. That's what he said after the fight with Vitaly. He's like, I don't want to hurt anybody. And it makes sense, man. A lot of people, they don't, especially people who look at sparring as an actual fight. There's this phrase, they say, you spar how you fight. And that's not true. Well, I guess sometimes that is true. Maybe a lot of people, that's true. But there are people out here, in case you didn't know this, secret's out. Everybody does not fight the way that they spar, or vice versa, however the heck you say it. You can spar someone and they may give you a certain look, but then when you see them in an actual fight, it's like, what the heck? Where did all that energy come from? It's like a totally different person. It's like a switch, a completely different, a beast just comes out. I'm an animal, man, a warrior that no one had ever seen before, man. I'm telling you. And that's the way Larry Wills is. He's that kind of guy. Man, he turned it up. He was moving. He didn't look anything the way he's been looking in these sparring sessions and stuff. He was alert. He was sharp. He was tenacious. He was going out there pressing the action. He dropped Vitaly like 2 times, man. Boom, cracked him. Second time around, dropped him again. They ended up tearing his bicep, bro. Tearing those biceps. He's got those big old muscles. I'm not going to lie, man. When I saw Larry out there moving, it's like, holy crap, this guy looks like he's going to pop any seconds now. Any second, man. It looks like he's just going to pop. Or something's going to tear, man. And, I guess he can attribute that to the steroid abuse. Steroids are not good for you. But nonetheless, man, Larry's a big, strong dude. And it did, this ties back into a video I made about big, strong, muscular people. I made a video about, people, there's this stigma that, oh, muscles don't mean anything. And, they don't mean you can fight in this and that. And it's like so many people are just trying to expose guys with muscle. That's like a real big thing. Oh, expose. I saw one guy, and this was even after Larry had gotten, into training and he admitted he was wrong and he's been showing great humility. There were still guys out here talking about, oh, Larry's been exposed. And I saw one guy post that after Larry got pieced up at a boxing gym by these young guys, this Hispanic guy and this black guy. These kids, man, they were piecing him up, total douchebags and stuff. And even afterwards, you have guys saying, oh, he got pieced up, he's exposed. Well, dude, man, Larry, there's nothing to expose. Larry has already admitted that he was wrong about his outlook on fighting and what it takes to really be a good fighter. He admitted that, size isn't everything. Yes, size matters, but it's not the end all. And he realized that, which is why he started training. He started learning. And I know how it is. Like I said in my first video regarding this topic, I know how it is being a muscular person. Anybody that's very fit and muscular, you know the deal. You walk into these gyms, people are thirsty. I want to spar. I don't want to spar. Get the hell away from me, man. Get the fuck away from me. You know what I'm saying? Like they're so thirsty to spar. It's unreal. It's like, dude, I'm here to learn, man. I'm not here to fight. I'm not here to be anyone, because that's what these guys really mean when they say they want to spar. No, what they really want to do, they want to fight. They want to turn up and look for any little excuse or moment to just start going ballistic, and they want to make it a fight. Sparring is not fighting, or is not supposed to be. And Larry seems like the type of guy, and I'm the same way. Anybody that try to cause themselves trying to make a spar, a fight, I don't even go there. Get the fuck away from me, man. I don't match energy in training, none of that stuff. Unless there's a trophy on the line, some money on the line, forget it. You got it, bro. You got it. You got me. You know what I'm saying? But it's interesting in some of these people. I don't know, man. You got, and it's crazy about these people who really love the sparring and they treat sparring like some championship Olympic match or something. More often than not, these types of people have the worst records. They're not out beating anybody significant in nothing. They have trash records. They're trash fighters. It's like, where's all that energy in the actual fight? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're taking all of this pride in sparring. Last time I checked, when fights are announced, nobody announces a person's sparring record. Oh, this person is 100-0 in sparring. Like, no one cares. Like, last time I checked, nobody's sparring record is announced before any of these fights, because sparring is not fighting, And then just to bring this back and just reiterate a thing I said earlier, I know people who they're completely different in the actual fight. You spar them and they're like, well, whatever, because they're just drilling moves. I know people in because if you're dealing with a person who actually wants to learn and like improve in areas that maybe they're not doing so hot in, they'll purposely put themselves in very bad spots in sparring just so they can work on those spots. This is very common in jiu-jitsu. Like, you could take a person that's really good at jiu-jitsu and you may be thinking that you're just taking their back and you're really working them over. Meanwhile, you don't realize that they're purposely giving up certain positions. They're giving you positions just so they can work on different positions. And like, even in, let's just say you catch them in something, it's because maybe they're trying to train themselves, or they're trying to work on something. How do I explain this? I've rolled with people who they'll say in their head, all right, I'm not going to do this particular move that I like. Because everyone has certain things that they like to do. Well, they'll say, you know what? No matter what, I'm not even going to do this particular thing that I like to do, even if it means me being caught in a submission or losing position. So in an arrogant person's mind, small mind, tiny little brain, they're thinking, oh my God, I finally caught this person. Meanwhile, this person isn't even trying to go 100%. They're not prioritizing winning the spar or winning the roll or whatever you call it. And the same concept can apply in striking, sparring as well. Everybody doesn't spar with the mentality of, I got to be better. There are people out here who train with the mentality of, I got to get better. And that's a huge difference. There is a huge difference. There's a difference between trying to be better and trying to get better, and it's easy to spot the people who are there purely to be better. They got, they're talking smack, they're trying to work people over. And then when the spar is over or the training session's over, they're sniggering, they're shooting you looks, and then you can tell people are talking. But like anybody that's been training long enough, you've ran into all sorts of people, and this is a particular type of person you've probably ran into, right? But yeah, so in Larry's case, he's ran into a lot of people like this. Again, being a big, strong, muscular person, everything he does is going to be highlighted. He just can't walk in there and just have a normal training session, because every little thing, it's like a person that just looks normal or whatever, they can go out in the training session, make the same mistakes, or get caught in a submission, whatever. It won't be a big deal. But if Larry goes out and gets caught or gets pieced up or whatever, sound the alarms. It makes headline news, So the same benefit of the doubt or the common courtesy isn't given to very fit men or athletic men or just muscular people. It's interesting. I recently saw a video. A guy reacted to the fight, and he actually made comments similar to what I made in another video regarding muscular people. And, there's this stigma, oh, muscles don't mean you don't know how to fight. Even Charleston White was sitting up making those comments when Larry was walking out. Oh, muscle man don't know how to fight. All that muscle they did. Look at, and I'm going to say the same thing I said in the video prior to this, a few months ago, or I can't remember how long ago, but I'm going to just repeat myself. Muscles matter. Muscles do matter, but only in tandem with skill and discipline. You got to be training. Look at the top fighters in the world, like the most popular ones. When you think of like a devastating, dominant fighter, Roy Jones Jr., muscles. Mike Tyson, muscles. Brock Lesnar, muscles. Bobby Lashley. A lot of people forget Bobby Lashley was an MMA fighter. He was a very good MMA fighter. I think he's like 15-2, but he wasn't getting like the shots he deserved, so he went back to pro wrestling. Bobby Lashley was huge, muscular. I mean, come on, man. Marvin Hagler. GSP was very muscular and fit, athletic and strong. Fast twitch muscle fibers. Go down the list. Alistair Overeem, Vitor Belfort. And I know some people, they'll try to fight it. Well, some of those guys, they're on steroids. It don't matter. Steroids or not, muscles are muscles. And these guys were dominating. Mind you, not all of these guys were on steroids, but regardless, the main point, muscles mean a lot. If they didn't, how come nearly all or most of the most dominant fighters to ever walk this planet were very muscular? They were super jacked, man. Anthony Rumble Johnson was a muscular dude, big, strong, muscular dude, athletic. John Jones, I would throw him in the muscular category. And like, hell, even if we want to go the movie route, let's take Jean-Claude Van Damme, very muscular. Michael Jai White, big, swole Michael Jai White can move like a cat, flexible, fast, muscular. Bolo, the Chinese, legendary Chinese actor, he was known for his physique. And now obviously these are actors. Some of these actors supposedly did compete in martial arts competitions and stuff, but you get my point, man. Even on the pro wrestling side, we all know pro wrestling is staged and stuff, but the best pro wrestlers out there, they're known for their physiques, just moving around, body slamming and stuff. Muscles mean a lot, but only in tandem with skill and discipline. So yeah, and if you think, all right, wrestlers, from collegiate wrestlers all the way to the Olympics, Kurt Angle was a very muscular dude, jacked. Remember the size of Kurt Angle's neck? I forgot the measurements, but forget about it, man. Jordan Barrows, very muscular dude, dominant wrestler. Alexander Karlin, he was a Russian. I think his style was mostly Greco-Roman. Come on, man, something like out of a comic book. All of these guys were jacked and muscular. When you compare the amount of muscular fighters to, non-muscular fighters that are high profile, forget it, they blow them out the water, man. I mean, you got exceptions, right? Like Fedor Emelianenko. Fedor, not a muscle in sight, not a vein in sight. BJ Penn was a very good fighter, wasn't a muscular guy. So you got him out there, but take those guys and compare it for every non-muscular fighter that was high level. There's like 20 very muscular fighters that are high level. Like, forget it. It's overwhelming. So when you hear this stigma, and I get it, because, I think the reason the stigma sort of just snowballs out of control is because the average person isn't remotely muscular at all or fit and stuff. So it's kind of like one of those things. You can take a muscular person, they can go out there and beat the crap out of like 30 people, but if they lose to one person, they're like, see, he lost to that one person. His muscles don't mean nothing. Muscles don't mean shit. It's one of those deals. It's like very little room for error if you're a very fit, muscular person. You can go in there, let's just say you're a beginner, but you're very athletic. You're a beginner in martial arts or whatever, but you're very muscular and athletic. And you're catching on very quickly. And I've seen this, hell, I've dealt with this. And you got people, jealous of you, maybe even coaches jealous of you. God forbid you catch on real fast. You can be doing better than all of the beginners, so they're just waiting for one little moment to either trip you up, just so it could be like, see, everything. So that's how it is. So the spotlight is always on you whenever you're a very muscular, fit person. Again, I'm not. When I say I can't even throw myself in the same category as a Larry Wheels or a Brock Lesnar, I'm nowhere near as big as those guys. Come on, these guys tower over me. But nonetheless, I'm still a functionally muscular, athletic person. No different than some pro level fighters that are not super crazy huge, like a Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo isn't a crazy big guy, but prime Jose Aldo was very muscular, fast twitch muscle fibers. Matt Hughes was very jacked. So you can just go down the list, man. You really can. Chad Mendez. Well, most people haven't heard his name in a while. Like I said, man, forget about it. We can just keep rattling off names. So whether you're a behemoth, giant, muscular person, or just a normal-sized muscular person, if you have a physique that stands out enough to where eyeballs are going to be on you in the gym or just walking down the street, yeah, everyone is just looking for that one little moment where you slip on a banana peel to blow it out of proportion, or that one little moment where you don't do so hot in sparring just so they can make a big deal out of it. That's how it is. And that's how it was, but yeah, back to Larry Wheels, man. I'm glad Larry went out there and did his thing, man, because I know the truth. I can just look at Larry and tell someone his size, man, there's no way in hell. First of all, when we saw Larry just have all these sparring sessions, not once did he ever look remotely close to hurting anybody. Not because he can't hurt anybody, it's because he's not trying to hurt anybody. He's not trying. He wasn't trying to hurt any of the guys he's grappling with. He wasn't trying to hurt those little assholes that was just going crazy hard with him with the boxing and stuff. And that's not to say he would have ended up knocking one of them out or beating them if he really did try to turn up. No, he probably would have got pieced up. But the point is, it wouldn't have been as easy as it looked for those guys if Larry was actually trying a little bit. And even if he couldn't start swinging back and piecing those guys up, he's so much bigger and stronger than those kids. He could have just took the gloves off and grabbed them and it would have been over. Like them kids don't know how to grapple. Let's be honest. Could have just broke them up in half. Like Larry, like I said in the first video, Larry will smack the crap out of the average guy. So you got guys like Charleston White talking smack. Like Larry will beat the crap out of Charleston White. You're Charleston White is talking like he can fight or something. He's all big muscle fight. Guys can't fight, and you can fight. And Charleston White can fight. We've seen Charleston White throw down with one of those island boys. Charleston looked pathetic, and Charleston won, but it wasn't like it was so impressive. It's just those island boys suck, man. They're scrubs. I think one of the island boys, he actually fought on that card that Larry fought on. Those guys are trash. It's really kind of disturbing how garbage they are. But yeah, man, like without training, anyone will look ridiculous. Anyone. So when I saw Larry getting picked up, submitted by those guys who have been training for years and been in a whole bunch of competitions or getting pieced up or whatever and striking, like I said in the first video, I wasn't remotely impressed because I know that's what's going to happen. That'll happen to anybody. Not just Larry Wheels, anybody who doesn't train. You can be 140 pounds or 240 pounds. The same result would happen. If you're not used to moving around, you're gonna be flat-footed, you're gonna be clumsy, you're gonna be getting thrown around, regardless of how big you are. The difference is when the muscular, strong people actually learn these techniques and learn how to fight, yes, they have an edge. So with that regard, muscles mean a lot. And the thing is about Larry Wheels, man, he don't even have to train like years and years, and like he can beat up most guys. Now are we talking like is he gonna go out there and beat John Jones? Of course not. Is he gonna go out there and beat Francis Ngannou, another one, big, strong, muscled up dude? Like I said, come on, forget about it. But yeah, no, but Larry has nothing to be ashamed of. He has most people on this planet, Larry can beat up, man. So keep things in perspective. Even without knowing
how to train fight. Now obviously Larry's training, so he's definitely going to be able to beat up a lot more people. But don't this whole stigma behind dudes with muscles can't fight and muscles mean absolutely nothing. Are you crazy? Get out of here, man. But that's all I want to say. Congratulations to Larry Wills. I don't know. He says he wants to do another fight. He's been two torn biceps, both biceps. They're torn. They've been torn. So I don't know I don't know anything about bicep tears. I've never torn a muscle ever in my life. That's why I always make sure to stay limber and stuff, and stretch a lot and stuff. Stay away from steroids and all that stuff. But I don't know how that works. I'm pretty sure he could probably still fight even after tearing it. I mean, Matt Serra had a torn bicep, and Matt Serra had a long career fighting. So I saw certain people talking about, yeah, he tore both biceps, he can't fight. There are a lot of people with torn muscles and stuff that still compete in athletics. So I'm pretty sure if Larry wants to do it, he can. He probably got some few more fights in him. I love to see it. And I'm loving the journey. I'm rooting for, I said it in the first video, I'm rooting for Larry. And I know how it is when you're a person that has an aura to you and you stand out. Larry Wills, he stands out. He's a big, strong dude. And yeah, people are just looking for any little moment to catch him. And I gotcha. See, so you can't do it. They're just waiting for it. And yeah, and then the one thing I like about Larry, I love his spirit too, his demeanor. He's a breath of fresh air. And when you look at all of these streamers and stuff, he's definitely a breath of fresh air in the streamer world. Because a lot of these streamers, they're neurotic, impulsive, hot-headed, loony, crazy. They do anything for views. Larry's the total opposite. He just turns on the camera. He's just himself, just chill, laid back, nice dude. And yeah, man. And yeah, I just hope he can stay away from just taking certain fumbles. And, one thing about Larry too. Okay, one thing I noticed how composed he looked in that fight. Didn't look nervous at all. And to be honest with you, I'm not surprised. Everyone was saying, wow, he looked surprised. Even he said he was surprised how calm he was. I wasn't, though, because if there's one thing we've seen with Larry, if there's one thing about Larry we've learned is he's fearless. I would say that Larry, he'll try anything. He'll go for it. I mean, we've seen Larry arm wrestle, sumo wrestle, do that power slap, getting slapped. He was knocked the hell out by some big, the 350-pound Polynesian dude. Just knocked the sense out of him. Larry, he attacks all endeavors with a clear mind and fearlessness. So I'm not surprised he looks so calm in that ring. I'm not surprised. And sometimes, I think Larry's is sometimes fearless to a fault, because we've seen him make some pretty dumb decisions too. You got to have a healthy, you got to have healthy reserves about you. I forgot. I don't know how to phrase it, but there's definitely being fearless to a fault, to the borderlining, I guess, straight up stupidity. And we saw that with his wife and stuff, not getting a prenup and this. Bro, what are you doing, man? And he's all like, I trust her. Then when people brought up to her, hey, see, man, the whole internet was telling you, man, you should have listened. And Larry's all like, well, I didn't have a crystal ball. How was I supposed to know she was going to do that? That's why you get a prenup. That's why you get a prenup, bro. Because you don't have a crystal ball. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. That's why you get the prenup. Anything can happen. The only thing you need to trust is that a human will be a human. That's the only thing you need to trust. That, hey, for all you know, yeah, she probably really was in love with you, but hey, people fall out of love. You know what I'm saying? You never know, dude. And even, let's just say, even if she was 100% true and how she felt about him and things, this and that, anything can happen. She could all of a sudden develop a mental disease, a mental disorder, and forget who you are. And next thing you know, she wants divorce and all that love she had. And you just got to protect yourself. Because like Larry Wills said, he did not have a crystal ball. No one ever knows. So enjoy things until they last, and hopefully certain things will last forever. But unfortunately, all things don't. So you still got to cover your ass, as they say, which means getting a prenup. So things like that. Larry, he shows a courageousness, and he shows he's down for anything. But, there's also being what do you call it, fearless or whatever, even though most human beings have something that they're afraid of, but you can definitely be courageous to a fault. And Larry has definitely showed he can be this way as well too. But in this particular situation, in terms of combat sports, going out there fighting, man, it worked out. You know, that boldness, that willingness to say, F it, I'm gonna go out there and whatever happens, happens. And like he didn't get it, you know, Larry, he's not a big talker. I could tell by Larry's face, he was, you know, he was there for business. He wasn't going to get caught up in the back of, you know, Vitaly obviously tried to make the wife comments, you know, low hanging fruit, easy stuff to go after. Oh, your wife, da 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 da. Larry's like, whatever, I want to fight in this and that. And he handled it, man. He, you know, he let his actions speak. So hopefully everything be good and like he gets another fight. He seems like he really enjoys combat sports. And I'm happy for him as far as that goes. So yeah, that's all I got to say about the Larry Wheels Vitaly fight. It was cool to see. Until then, catch you later.